This is The Wheel Weaves, a Wheel of Time podcast with no spoilers. Hey everyone, I'm your host Dani, and I'm the first-time reader going through this series chapter by chapter. As always, there's no spoilers past the chapter we're covering, and that means it's totally safe for first-time readers. I'm joined by my co-host Brett, who's a longtime fan, and he's guiding me on this journey. We'd like to thank and acknowledge our executive producers, Brandy and Kirkwood, McGuire, Yanis, LightBlindedFool, Green Man, Deyvis, Ferreira, Margaret, Big C, Bennett, Williamson, Dylan C, Hannah Green, Noralia, Jordan Gower, Geof, Searles, Erik Reed, Greysin, Ishara, and Ashlee Bradley. And before we get into things today, we just want to thank and welcome Silicon Echoes and Jenna Brackett to the Wheel Weaves Patreon team. Thank you so much for your generosity and your support. We really, really, truly appreciate it. In this episode, we are talking about chapters 9 and 10 of The Gathering Storm.
Yep, chapter 9 is Leaving Malden, and chapter 10 is The Last of the Tabac.
Yeah.
So finally, we're leaving Malden.
Well, okay.
We're like actually starting to go.
Yeah. Well, Fael was there for a while.
Yeah.
So here we go. We need something else to do.
The leaving.
Yeah.
The leaving
it
of.
certainly is. Yes.
Yeah. But I do have to say, the second chapter with Ishara
Mm-hmm.
is a contender for my favorite chapter of the entire book.
It is.
I don't know if you could pick that up while you're reading it, but.
Nope.
I love Ishara. I love
it.
Rand, and they're just two guys being awesome together. I love it so much.
Yeah. Yep.
It's one of those scenes that, like, I remember it always and forever. I love it so much.
All right.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
put some serious consideration to, like, maybe making this one my favorite, but there's some other really good ones.
Okay. I'm looking forward to hearing your points on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's just I'm just going to say it's awesome over and over again.
Okay.
Okay. All right. But I also figured, since we get that pretty cool little story from Ishara about the time he saw not just a gleeman, but a master juggler perform in Camelin.
Yes, the court bard.
Yeah, Tom Marilyn, of course. Okay, I know what people have been waiting for here. It's juggling facts.
Oh, juggling facts.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So first off, it is important to get our definitions clarified here, because it actually does make a difference.
Ooh, okay.
So, there's 4 main categories of props for juggling when it comes to record-breaking attempts, but each is still identified individually. So one category, being balls, includes beanbags, but they must be roughly spherical objects. So in the balls category, you could juggle balls or beanbags, and they all count for the balls category, but they're identified separately. Does that make sense?
No.
Okay, so next category is clubs, which includes sticks and batons, but they all must be long, roughly cylindrical objects.
Bowling pins?
Right,
I've
exactly.
seen those.
That'd be clubs, right? There's rings, which include plates and hoops, but they must be flat, roughly circular objects. And then bouncing balls, which you must bounce them off a solid, flat, horizontal surface with just one bounce per ball between each throw and catch.
And that's different than balls?
Well, bouncing. You bounce it on the ground versus, like, up in the air.
I see.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Ishara's story has Tom juggling all the way up to 10 balls. It's like 3 balls, 4 balls, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then the 11th was like a puff of smoke, and then he's hitting on the lady.
Yeah.
But anyways, because people were calling for the 11th, but he was juggling 10.
Right.
Now, the world record for number of balls juggled, which was done by Anthony Gatto in 2006, and for 55 seconds, he was able to juggle 9 balls.
Okay.
So 10 balls. 10 balls has never been done in real life. However, in the balls category, it does technically go all the way up to 14, but it was done with beanbags.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so Tom is better than the best juggler ever.
So what would scarves fit into? What category?
Well, I think that's just like whatever for records, but like the people who seriously could, there's the 4
What if I want to
categories.
juggle scarves for the world record?
Well, it wouldn't fit into one of those 4 categories, so maybe Guinness Records would like have a separate thing for you.
Thing for me,
yeah, you could be the only person.
Okay, because they're easier.
Yeah.
Because they're floatier.
Right, that makes sense to me.
And then I also want to know about knives. Would that be like club?
I think that fit under the clubs category.
Yeah,
but
and
I
I noticed there's also no flaming category.
There's no flaming category, not that I could see.
I like the juggling flames.
Yeah.
I like that.
Well, here's the thing, too. So, like,
it's entertaining.
This is kind of interesting. So, the 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14 beanbags, the way they're done, we're talking about, like, 14 beanbags and 14 catches. So, they all go up, and they all get caught. But then that's it. That's the record.
Oh.
Right. So it doesn't happen for a long time. But the 12, 13, and 14 were all done by Alex Barron in 2017. He got the 14 record. But it's like up and then down, you catch them, and then that's it.
But the 9 juggling balls was 55 seconds.
55 seconds, exactly. So that's the thing. Now, the record for 3 balls was done by David Rush in 2023, last year, actually. And he juggled for 13 hours and 10 minutes.
Holy shit.
Yep. But Canada has 1 record holder.
Okay.
So go us. So Philippe Dupuis on the 6 bounce ball, so there's 6 of them going down, bouncing.
Yeah.
Went for 6 minutes and 43 seconds in 2016.
Okay.
So go Canada.
All right. Good.
There you go. Juggling facts.
Love that. And D'Angelo Vickers has the world record for fake
imaginary
juggling. Yeah.
Love it.
Oh my gosh.
All right. Are we ready for this now?
Sure. Thanks for the juggling facts.
Yeah.
Here's a fun fact. Brett can juggle.
I can juggle 3 balls.
Yeah.
That's it. Not for 13 hours.
No.
I'll admit.
Like a minute.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's about the time I get bored too.
Yeah.
It's like, what am I doing here?
Yeah. Very impressive because I can't.
Yeah. And interestingly, 2, not a thing. Can't juggle 2.
Yeah, I can do 2.
Yeah. Not juggling.
Not juggling.
By definition.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, okay. Anyway, chapter 9 is called Leaving Malden, and the chapter symbol, fittingly, is a wolf. Now, we're obviously in a Perrin perspective, and Perrin is in Malden a day after their attack on the Shido.
Yeah.
So the Shanshan have left. Not Shanshan.
Yeah, well, they've left too.
Well, that's what I mean. Actually, yes, I did mean Shanshan. Shanshan have left Tylee and them.
Yes.
They left, and then we actually saw them get attacked by Trollocs.
Yeah.
So I guess that's happening recently.
Right.
I have some questions about, timeline of events kind of thing.
Little loosey-goosey, maybe.
It feels very loosey-goosey, actually.
Yeah.
I feel like we're slightly back in time from when a couple other things might have happened.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't really know.
Yeah. So that's going to be important too, the loosey-goosey time frame of considering book 12, 13, 14 is 1 book.
Right. And we'll talk about it when we get there, but Perrin sees Rand at one point, and I'm like, wait, the timeline doesn't match up for where we know Rand is.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, also, Perrin could be wrong about what he sees.
Yeah, Perrin.
He's like, it kind of looks like it's somewhere in Tyr, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, but we know that Rand was in a house in Tyr a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, but like sitting on a chair looking all kingly. I don't know. Like, it's just, I wouldn't necessarily trust Perrin's. Perrin shuts all these images down too really hard. So, like, he's not really focusing on anything. But I get what you mean.
I thought it was supposed to be a timestamp for us. And then.
It's really hard to put it. For me, it's hard to.
Like, why would it be a specific tier in detail?
Yeah.
Like, why would we even say that if we weren't supposed to pick up on where Rand is?
Okay.
I don't know. Whatever.
I got no answers for you.
Okay, here. That's fine. We can talk about it later, or we could just not. It's fine.
Yeah.
Okay,
Back to what Perrin's doing.
Yeah, so he's in the camp doing what he likes to do best, which is a bunch of manual labor that should definitely be left to somebody else.
Yeah, and like he doesn't have to do the things he doesn't want to do.
Perrin is suffering.
Oh, yeah.
From some severe mental health challenges.
Right.
Because things should be feeling good now that he's rescued Fail and his mission is over, but it's actually quite the opposite.
So what's up with that?
Yeah.
Is this like relationship problems? Is he overthinking things maybe? Or is there like actually something?
Is Perrin overthinking things?
Well, you know what I mean.
Does a bear shit in the woods?
Yeah, exactly.
Is the Pope Catholic?
Right.
Does the Pope shit in the woods? Yes, probably.
Who's to say?
Who's to say? Anyway, Perrin is overthinking things and no one's surprised.
Right.
Yeah. But I do have to say, I sympathized a little bit. Now, hold on to your hat.
Wait, with Perrin?
Yeah.
Okay. Go on.
Well, I actually experienced something a little bit similar to what he's going through. Nothing like this traumatic.
Like that time that you rescued me from that.
No. But I was at a bit of a loss after our wedding.
Okay.
About the month after our wedding, I was feeling very low and very negative. Not like about us getting married, but
Thank you for clarifying
it
that.
takes a full year to plan the wedding, and it's constantly what you're thinking about and what you're planning and what you're looking at and what you're doing.
Well, and not just the year, it's also like the majority of your life you've probably thought about
Well, a lot of it, yeah, for sure.
the hypothetical wedding one day.
Especially like during a relationship, yeah. So it's like this big build up, especially in the months leading up to it, because the anticipation, you got to get everything ready, you got to make sure everything's good, and it's a lot of planning and a lot of everything and a lot of excitement. And then the big day comes, and it's so exciting and it's so great, and then after it's over.
Yeah.
And like, now what?
Yeah.
Right? Now you just go back to your life and you don't have anything fun and exciting to plan for, and you have a lot less money than you used to have a year ago. And like, there's a lot of things.
Yeah.
And I felt this sort of like post-wedding crash.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, actually.
And so
yeah.
I feel like with Parent, there's like this lead up to like, I had something to do.
Yeah, something
I had
driving
purpose,
him.
something driving me. And although I should be like, this is the thing that was like causing me all my anxiety and all my anticipation and everything, and now it's over. Like, now what?
Yeah, he should be happy, but he doesn't have the next thing. Sort of like Matt, where he doesn't have like a purpose or objective, and he's like, what do I do?
Yeah.
And that's kind of where he is right now, and then we do get to see where he's going to go with that. But no, it's a good point.
Kind of, yeah.
I understand why you're like feeling, okay.
Yeah.
You feel it. You get it.
I kind of get it.
Okay.
Yeah,
like
that's at least where I went with it.
For sure.
But
now, Perrin is definitely doing some avoiding of his responsibilities. Yes, he's multitasking here. Like, I get that.
He's
I
like,
get that he's doing both.
Why can't anybody just handle their own shit?
But like, man, you gotta stop what you're doing here. This is part of the problem right here. This is it.
But part of it also is he doesn't trust anybody else to actually do it properly.
Well, I mean, dude,
that's
like,
what he thinks.
I know.
Yeah.
It's like a huge excuse. And it's like
he's
the
like,
one
no one
guy
will do it as thoroughly and as good as I would do it.
And it's like, maybe that's true, but also you didn't inspect a single wagon in the entire time leading up to, like, you were sleeping under the wagon, but I don't think you were looking at the axles.
Yeah.
So, like, the wagons were fine before you came to inspect them.
Yeah, so he has a line of people waiting to speak to him.
Yeah.
And he calls the next person forward, and it's Arganda.
Right.
Who is Alejandro's
Yes, the first
guy?
The main guy that Alejandra is, yeah.
Okay, and
exactly.
Alejandra is the one from Gildan.
Yeah.
The Queen of Gildan, who Perrin is the liege guy?
Yes.
For? Okay.
Because she was kind of like playing Massima as much as she could, and then Perrin came in and she's like,
okay,
yep,
yeah, help me, good.
I'll go with you.
Okay.
And Arganda, for the record, he's been the guy who's like frantic about rescuing her since the beginning.
Yeah.
Makes sense. It's like that's his queen.
Yeah.
So
okay. So Arganda wants to ride ahead with Alejandro like right away. He doesn't want to wait.
He wants to leave.
He's like, I want to get out of here. I know that there's some other Aiel who are kind of close to here, and we don't want to deal with that at all. And so, like, let's go.
Yeah.
And Perrin is like, no, we're all going together.
Right. Because big news, Perrin has 100,000 refugees to take care of now, so Arganda wants to just like bail, because it makes sense that he wants to.
Yeah, he doesn't want to have to deal with any of these.
Yeah, I want to
And I mean,
go.
like, to be fair, Perrin is really taking on that responsibility, and like maybe it's actually Fael who's taking on the responsibility of all the Wetlander who were taken Gaishain.
Yeah.
But I mean, they can just go.
That's true. But where are they going to go,
I
right?
know. And
like,
I mean, like, we do learn later that a lot of them are from Cairhien.
Yeah.
And went through the gateways,
mm-hmm.
right? But a lot of them also are from relatively around here.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Some are. Yeah.
Okay.
Like the town of Malden people, but their city's destroyed now, so it's like,
well,
what
the town
do
of
they
Malden
do?
people, but then also like all like, you know, Gildan and Altara and all around here, like, go home. Don't you have family, probably?
Yeah, but also keep in mind, nobody gets to go home because there's this big thing that's going to be happening, and we need everybody to start like being ready for that. The last battle, if you recall, that's been like the whole.
But
we
it's
need
like
people.
These are all just like regulars.
Well, all the farmers up in the borderlands are like, pulling out their mobile.
They're a little bit different. I don't know. These
are
people
they different?
well, these people were literal slaves for like a year.
Yeah.
Or however long this took.
It's been like a month.
I don't even know. Whatever. No,
2 months.
It's been definitely more than that. It's been 2 months since Fael was captured.
Yeah, like in Malden and stuff.
Yeah.
Like 2 months, okay. Like the Cairhien and it. Okay,
like probably 4 months.
Sure, 4 months to 6 months.
Yeah.
Definitely
That's
not less.
That's a long time for them to be like slaves and away from their families.
I get it. But now we got to go fight the last battle.
No, we have to return them.
Okay.
I think we should be returning them or letting them just go.
Okay.
That's all.
Yeah. Anyways, we do get a little story here about Perrin thinking about his family. It happens twice in this chapter specifically, too.
Yes, some father background.
Yeah, just like a hint, but with like none of the feelings of like, oh, sadness that everybody's dead. Like we avoided that side of things.
No, he sort of thinks about his upbringing.
Yeah.
And he thinks about what his father taught him.
Yeah.
And and when I was reading it, I was thinking, you remember what your father taught you before you were like 11? I don't know, because didn't he go to like blacksmith when he was like 11?
Yeah, with the Luhans.
With the Luhans, and I was like, how close were you with your... But then a little bit later in the chapter, he sort of talks about how he goes off to be an apprentice.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, it makes sense. Yep.
At least we get some form of background.
Yeah. And it's really cool, too, because in the Ravens prologue, we did get to see a little bit about that backstory,
Little baby Perrin,
just like a tiny little int.
Yeah,
just like,
a little 11-year-old Perrin or whatever. Yeah,
conversation with the Luhans and stuff.
Yeah.
So, okay, anyways.
We're also going to get a recap on the Battle of Malden.
Right.
In case you forgot what happened there.
It's done.
It's done.
It's done here. Yeah.
But Perrin certainly did like killing Shido.
Yeah. Yeah, the Shido are dispersed. Like, that's happened.
He felt alive while he was fighting.
That did happen. He's concerned about that and his feelings towards it.
Yep.
But again, I mean, we've had that whole conversation with Elias, too, where it's like, hey, you know... That's just like adrenaline, and it's not a bad thing. Like you have purpose. Like you're not a terrible person, but Perrin is definitely struggling a little bit here too.
Right. Okay. But yes, the Shido are dispersed.
Yep.
And then this is really actually when we learn about the Aiel who are coming up on Malden.
Yeah, because that was the news during the battle. It's like, oh, there's like two groups that are like coming in pretty quick.
But they did stop.
They stopped, yeah.
Coming towards the city, so we're not worried about them right now.
But we also don't want to entice them into like attacking us if we stick around too long.
Right.
Like we don't want to risk it because we don't know. We don't know.
Yeah.
And at this point, we don't have that many soldiers.
No. And Argana's like, why can't we just use gateways? And Perrin's like, the Ashaman are exhausted.
Yeah. And he's like definitely had this conversation several times already. Like they literally cannot.
Yeah. And Argana's like, well, maybe they can't make a gigantic gateway for everybody, but can't they just make a tiny one for Alejandra?
Right. Like I don't need all the refugees.
I just need a little one. And Perrin says,
good.
No.
He's like, but Aleandra's tired. She's tired. And he's like, everyone's tired. She can ride a horse.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Next in line.
All right, here we go.
It's Bulwer.
No.
Bulwer's here.
No, it's not.
Oh.
You skipped Galen.
Oh, I skipped Galen. Oh, whoops. Okay, no. I see it now.
He's the other guy.
Yeah, no, okay. It's Galen first. Okay.
Yeah. He's Barrelane's main dude.
Yes.
He has the eye patch.
Yep.
His name is not Uno.
No.
Right.
Anyway, Galen wants to attack the Aiel.
Right.
Who are sitting there not attacking the city currently.
Yes.
Just disperse of them.
Yeah, we'll do what we did already with Malden. And he's like, well, we don't have the Shunshin anymore.
And the Damani. And no, we're not attacking them. And he just like shuts down this idea.
Why don't we just send a message and just ask if they can come back real quick? It's like,
No, Galen.
No.
All right. And then during this whole thing, Perrin thinks again about his dirty clothes and how he's working on the wagon and how Fael wouldn't be happy with him.
Yeah, because he's literally dirty under the wagons right now. He's like literally underneath.
Yeah.
This is not what he should be doing as the leader / lord / I don't know, king?
Yeah.
Liege guy?
Yep.
Not,
that guy?
Yeah, this is not for you.
No, and even though Fael has been rescued, we get his thoughts and feelings here for the first time on how things aren't really that great.
Yeah.
And he doesn't really understand why.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, too, because we get some thoughts about what he thinks may have or didn't happen during her captivity.
Yeah, that's kind of part of it.
Well, one of the problems that Perrin does is he smells emotions. Like, maybe she's feeling guilt about the whole Roland being dead situation. Like, who knows what but he's probably picking up on smells, and he doesn't talk about them. He just assumes people's feelings and thinks he's right about them.
Yeah.
So, like, probably half of these issues are Perrin's own fault for assuming
1,000%. Oh, I would definitely believe that everything is Perrin's fault.
Like 75 to 90%.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah.
Okay, that's pretty good. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Well, anyways, he doesn't feel good. It's bad.
Okay. Now it's Bulwer. I was just excited.
Now it's Bulwer.
I like Bulwer. I'm excited to talk about him. So, Bulwer has been speaking with all of the captives to find out information, and he's here to ask if Perrin is letting the Shanshan take all of the captive Shido channelers.
Yeah, it's like,
and
really?
It's like, that already happened. Like, they're gone.
Yeah.
So, yes. And he's like, can't you just get some of them back? No.
Like, just a couple? Just like one or two or five? Like, just a few?
Just to get information.
Yeah, well, okay, well, and this is kind of interesting because this is where he brings up the fact that there's been like the oh, they had dealings with the curious individuals who offered them objects of power from the Age of Legends and
Oh,
made gateways.
yeah.
And Balwer wants to find out about that because he's figured that they got tricked somehow, but he doesn't really...
By Forsaken. He's really
figured
it out.
Like, he has, and Perrin's like, wow, they're Forsaken, and we're never going to know because they're probably disguised, and it doesn't matter, so just, like, forget about it.
Yeah.
But Balwer wants to know. Like, he's the information guy. He's a spy master.
Yeah.
He wants intel.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not happening.
No.
It's not.
Perrin has not changed his mind. All of the Wise Ones channelers are going to the Shanshan because that was the deal, and we don't want to have to deal with any of that.
Yeah, because, like, I feel like he probably found some of the fool boxes, too.
Right.
He's like, oh, like, something strange about them, and maybe if we search the city more...
Yeah.
Because some of the Shido probably held on to them, but some of them probably didn't because they were, like, pressing the buttons on the fool boxes.
I know.
But, I don't know. It's just, like, a funny little tidbit there, too.
Yeah. And so he's like, can we just stick around?
Yeah.
No,
we're leaving.
So some people want to leave right now. Some people don't want to leave. Some people want to fight the Aiel. And Perrin is just like, no, we're leaving when I say.
Yeah.
Just hang out.
Yeah. Well, and apparently we get a little tidbit here, too, that it's kind of obvious, too, but the Aiel that he has with them, they're not happy that the Shanshan got to take all of the Wise One channelers.
Yeah.
Like, they're not happy with that. So Perrin's like, if I told the Wise Ones to shove it up their butts, why wouldn't I also tell you the same thing?
Yeah.
And there's definitely, I understand why they don't want that to happen still, even though they're Shido. Like, it's still pretty bad.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
It's not good.
No. And I know that the Shido Wise Ones were pretty complicit in everything that was happening.
Yeah.
It's
like,
just
they're
that
bad
moral
people, but...
ambiguity again that gets us every time.
Well, and the literal strengthening of the Shanshan armies too. Like, that's not good. That they get,
yeah, also
like,
that.
There's that aspect too of the military side.
Right.
Yikes.
Right.
Anyways, Perrin is just gonna ignore all of it.
Yeah,
Doesn't
but
matter.
Balwer smells annoyed when he leaves.
Yeah,
it's because he's annoyed. That's why he smells that way.
You know what? That's a feeling he can.
That one
he can
get.
understand.
Yeah. But turns out this wagon needs to be fixed. So
Right.
let's talk about that for a long time.
Right. Well, we get the whole backstory on the guy who's like doing the fixing of
Who
the
cares?
wagons, but he can't inspect it
Oh my
because
God,
he's got
who
like
cares?
lots of trauma.
Not me.
Yeah. Well, Perrin doesn't either, but
Yeah.
you know, he does
Okay,
good work.
so he's doing all his repairs that are distracting him from his problems with Fael, and he looks over and he sees Fael.
Yeah.
And now, are we assuming this is after Massima has run off and Fael has gone and killed him?
I would think so, because if it's the next day, I think the first thing Fael did was literally that night go and kill him.
I thought it was daytime, but like when Massima...
Like evening?
I don't know. Maybe
I think
morning.
the sun was setting. I don't know.
Oh, okay. I don't know either.
Yeah. Okay. Who's to say?
Nope, not me.
That could also be part of the whole, like, oh, she smells weird because she just did the whole, like, secret murder thing and, like, don't tell Perrin.
Yeah.
So maybe she is feeling a little guilty about that.
Maybe.
Or like
feeling great about that.
She's smelling like, oh, that she's hiding something. Because also his smelling stuff is a little bit ambiguous on what
but
you
you know
can
what?
smell.
Fael is so beautiful.
And clever and smart and beautiful.
And the best.
Yeah.
But for some reason, he just can't find the words to say to her.
It's because he's bad with words.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
And he's like worried about what happened to her during captivity, but he doesn't want to talk to her about it.
Yeah. And he's like, hey, you know, stuff happens in captivity. He's not going to blame her for anything. Like,
no,
you got
I'm
to do
just
what you
going
got
to
to
be a
do to
little
survive.
angry, but I'm also not going to talk about it.
Yeah, he's not angry at her.
Yeah.
But he's angry at the situation, but also it doesn't seem like they're communicating. So it could be multiple problems here.
Lots of problems. So many problems.
We need to talk it out, I think.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, communication.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not going to do that though.
No.
Bury it under
sweep it right under that.
Sweep it under
rug.
the wagons that you're currently fixing.
So the next person who's here to talk to Perrin is Tam Althor, who comes over to tell Perrin that if he didn't know better, he'd think that Perrin lost the battle because his face is so distraught.
I could tell from across the camp that your face looks really miserable.
Shit. Yeah. You look terrible.
Terrible.
Yeah.
All right.
But Tam is here to bring a report that the Two Rivers men are organized and ready to go.
Yeah.
And Perrin thinks, finally, someone who can get shit done on his own without asking for me.
Hooray.
And listens to orders.
Right.
Go, Tam.
Yeah. He did the things.
Yeah.
That's good. But anyways, this is where Perrin starts to misstep in this entire conversation.
Yeah, so Perrin's like, okay, tell them that I have the intention to have them back home as soon as possible.
Yep.
As soon as the Ashermen can make a gateway, then we'll get them straight back to the Two Rivers.
There you go.
And Tam's like, I don't think they want to go.
Yeah, here's the thing about that.
I think they want to follow you.
Right.
Because you're their leader.
Right.
And you've been fighting battles.
And they believe in you.
Right.
And also the last battle is coming, and they know that.
Yeah.
And
You
I
know who
that.
probably wants to get back to their homes? All of the captives.
Like, maybe.
The ones who didn't plan to follow you and be in your army.
They don't want to be here.
They don't.
Right. But anyways, we're going to do some serious backtracking here too, because Tam asks him also, like, hey, were you serious about the whole giving up on Manethering thing? Because if you remember, he promised the Shanshan basically that he's going to give up all that stuff, because I don't want it, and I'm not trying to do nothing here.
Yeah.
Cool.
And Perrin's like, yep, I'm not a king.
Yes, we've been through that.
Yep.
And Tam's like, hey, what about that queen who has, like, sworn to you as the liege?
Yeah.
Like, what about that?
Yeah.
He's like, how? I'll just get her to say that to Elaine or Rand.
Yeah, she can sort of someone else. Like, I'm done.
Not my...
The end
I
for
don't
me.
want to.
Yeah. But Tam actually thinks that it's a good idea that we're calling it the Two Rivers instead of Manetheren, because that would definitely antagonize everybody.
Right.
And...
yeah.
If Perrin doesn't want that, and he doesn't want to deal with that, then he definitely should not. You know what I mean?
I get that. Just let Fael do it.
Yeah, just
right?
let Fael do it. I know.
It's like, she'll do it better.
She can deal with Elaine.
Yeah. Anyway, so it's just Perrin being the whole, like, I don't want it, I don't want to do it.
And he also wants the wolf head banner to come down.
Oh, yeah,
and
he's
then
like,
that's
oh,
when
do
Tam
that.
is like, whoa.
Yeah, like, pump the brakes here, buddy.
Yeah, because you're the literal leader here.
Yeah, I like how he's like, I thought you were over this. Like, I thought we got past all this stuff.
Yeah.
Because for a while there, Perrin did, like, raise the banners and do the things he was supposed to do. He was, like, he was young bull. He was doing things. He was saving Fael.
Yeah.
And now we just, like, he did it, and now he's just reverting back.
Now he's back to being like Eeyore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No wonder Fael's annoyed.
Yeah.
Anyway, Perrin doesn't think he's changed. He's like, I'm the same person. I never wanted it, and I still don't want it. But at some point, you kind of just got to accept it here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's basically what Tam has to say here.
Yeah.
We get a lot of feelings about everything that's going on.
Yeah.
Including the fact that Aram was poisoned by Massima and how Perrin should have done a better job for Aram.
Yeah, well,
And it's
Perrin's
like,
thinking
well,
like, oh, I was a
yes.
bad leader, and I'm not being a good leader now. And it's
I
like,
was
yeah,
all Aram had, and
Yeah.
blah blah, and I used to treat him well, and I was like, Perrin, I don't know if you ever treated Aram well.
No.
Yeah.
But he's reflecting on how he's not done a good job, and like I kind of have to agree with him. Like he hasn't done a superb job of being the leader because he keeps pushing back against that entire position. Like for the most part.
Yep.
So like, yeah, man, you are doing a bad job, and like, yeah, maybe Aram wasn't exactly your responsibility, but also, you know, that doesn't change the way things played out.
No.
So.
No, it does not.
Yep. Anyways, sucks. And Perrin's like, okay, well, I'll think about it.
Okay.
Maybe.
Maybe. Now, Perrin calls next, and we have someone else showing up.
Eravine.
Who's that?
Okay, so she's the one who, back in the Shadow Camp, she went to get Fael when Savannah summoned her to get punished for having a knife, and then she brought her to the people who are all, like, hogtied, and then Eravine swore loyalty to Fael.
Oh, that was the one I was like, I don't know if I can trust her.
Yeah, you were,
And
like,
then-
suspicious because of something, because it was like, oh, follow me down
Well,
this
it
back
was
alley.
weird. Yeah.
But then Eravine's also the one who, like, stood up to Galena's bullshit.
Yeah.
And was like, don't.
Yeah.
So, that's her.
Okay, well, now we get Perrin thinking that he doesn't understand why Fael chose her to supervise the refugees.
Yeah.
Instead of one of the Chafael Lubies.
Yeah.
And he uses that word again in this chapter. I thought it was so funny. But
It's, yeah.
okay. Well, turns out all of the people are ready for travel.
Yeah.
It was easy. She's organized them by nationality and then town of birth and the ones who are most capable of marching on foot. And then she just did everything.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of funny too, just to speak to the point about like why Fael chose Eravine. It's because Eravine was in the Shadow Camp and she has a bunch of new followers now.
Yeah.
Like she has hundreds of new followers, like personally, not just the couple Chafael she had. Like she's got a huge freaking collection now.
Yes.
And Perrin probably isn't in the know about all of that.
Not necessarily, no.
Yeah, I'd have to assume he doesn't know exactly.
Yeah. And also, she was chosen because she clearly has leadership skills.
She did, yeah.
Because he's like, wait, they're all ready already?
Yeah.
And she's like, well, yeah, you told me to get them ready, so I did.
Yeah. Plus, also, it helps when they all want to leave.
Yeah.
Like, they don't want to be here anymore.
Nope,
they want to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then, start marching immediately.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. And
Alejandro
he'll send
can go lead.
Alejandro.
Yeah.
It turns out, yep, we can go now.
Perfect.
Turns out.
All right, but also that's going to be annoying because now she's going to be going slowly, leading like a bunch of refugees instead of just like getting a little tiny gateway to not here.
Yeah.
So it's fine. Like it's
You
going to be.
mean for Alejandra?
Yeah, for Alejandra.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, specifically because she just wants to go now.
Yeah. All right. And then Perrin calls next, but there's nobody left in line.
Perfect.
And
well,
now...
except for like a bunch of like messengers who aren't. There's no like named people left.
I thought there was like no one else to talk to, and there's also no more wagons to fix. So...
Yeah. Well, it's kind of funny because like there are messengers, there are some people, but he sends the rest of them like away.
He doesn't want to talk to them.
He's like, okay, go away now.
Yeah, but then he finds himself alone with nothing to do, and
that's not what he wants.
It's exactly what he does not want.
I don't want to be alone with my own thoughts.
Nope. Who does?
Yeah.
Nope. But he thinks about how fighting the Aiel was great, and it made him feel alive.
Yeah.
And he was doing something, but now all the purpose is gone.
Yeah.
So that's a problem.
Yeah, this is the childhood story, too, that we get about him having the gift, and the promise of the gift is better than actually receiving the gift because you have the thing that you're waiting for forever, and then it's like gone and empty.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, so like that's the backstory that we get too. So it's just interesting that we get the two thought processes about his like backstory and family in this chapter too.
Yeah.
So I like it.
Okay. And then he thinks about how the last battle is coming and that Rand will need everyone's help. And then the colors swirl and he sees Rand sitting with a dark, troubled expression, looking all kingly in some house that looks of Terran style.
Right.
Which is...
Yeah.
Feels like a nod to where he is and timeline.
Yeah, I know.
But it's weird, right?
It's really hard to pin down though.
Yeah, but he can feel something tugging at him, pulling him. He needs to go to Rand. Rand needs him. That's his focus now. So,
yeah,
like, let's do that.
Well, it's actually kind of cool, too, because, like, the last time we saw the tugging towards Rand, that was, like, Dumai's Wells, where it's like, he needs you, I need to be there, Rand needs me. And now we're starting to get that same feeling, like, Rand needs me, so...
Well, it probably never fully went away.
Yeah.
It's just that he was so all-consumed...
Yes.
...with his other feelings and emotions.
Yeah, and half of Perrin's, like, self-loathing that he does in this chapter, too. He's like, oh no, I failed my mission that Rand sent me on.
Oh, with Messina?
It's like, Rand doesn't care.
Well, I was wondering if he was going to find out that Massima's gone, or... Like, there was no really... Like, not even a mention that, oh, Massima ran away.
Well, I mean, it seems pretty clear that, like, Massima and his people are gone.
I know,
like,
but
they
I
dipped
wanted
out,
it from Perrin's perspective.
I get that.
On what he thinks happened.
Well, he does think in this chapter, like, I failed, but...
Yeah.
It's just, no, man, like, Rand doesn't remember that.
No, he has no idea.
Yeah.
He'll be happier that Massima's dead.
Yeah.
Honestly.
It's like, oh, he's not here? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good.
Yeah. All right, so that is the end of this chapter. Let's take a quick break before we get into some exciting
One of my favorite chapters.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay.
Okay, so we're back from our break, and we're going to jump into chapter 10.
Yeah, here we go.
Now, it's called The Last of the Tabac.
Yes, okay.
And the chapter symbol's the dragon.
Yeah.
So that's exciting.
Yeah, because Rand.
It's Rand, yeah. And I mean, like, it's a discussion. It's not like action-packed or anything.
Well, no.
We just have a really logical conversation.
We have a very important meeting. Very important.
It's pretty good.
It's a very important meeting. Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like two of my favorite guys. And it's one of those times when things, like, go well. Like,
yeah, well,
things
it sounds
went well.
Tavirany.
It does. But it's like sometimes the Tavirany stuff doesn't even go that well for Rand. But like in this sense, it seems like both people are getting what they want out of this experience, and it's like it's good.
Kind of, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, let's get into it more.
Okay.
Let's
okay, sounds good.
Dive in
All
a
right.
little bit here.
So we are in Rodel Ituralda's perspective. Ituralda is smoking his pipe.
Yeah.
And we learn that he is going to use the last of his Two Rivers Tabac.
Yes. Yeah. Honestly, it's one of my like favorite things is the Two Rivers people are always like, nobody knows us, or backwater country. Nobody. It's like everyone literally knows.
Like,
they grow the best weed. Like, that's where it comes from. Everyone knows it.
Yeah.
He's been saving it.
No, Tabac.
Yeah.
Brett.
It's kind of sad though, because like he's smoking this now because he thinks he's gonna
about to die. Yeah.
Like this is the last opportunity.
Yeah. Okay. Because he's holed up inside a ramshackle shed with maps all over a table.
Yeah.
It's been 2 weeks since the victory against the Shanchen.
Right, in the little town.
Darluna.
City,
right?
Right.
Yeah. And now one of his men is asking him, like, what the plan is.
Right.
And it's like, well, we gotta hunker down. We learn that they're in a steading right now because at least the Damani won't be effective.
Yes.
When the Seanchan hunt him down and attack.
Yeah, and there's a little bit of a recap on, like, Ituralda's feelings on the whole Seanchan invasion thing. So if we remember from the last time we saw Ituralda, he had that small conversation with the Seanchan general who told him, like, hey, you know you're not going to win long term. Like, yeah, congratulations on this fight, but long term you're pretty much doomed.
Yeah. And
Ituralda was like, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where we are right now. Is that Ituralda wonders about Al-Salam, hoping like, oh, I hope he's okay.
The king.
Whatever.
Yeah.
The king, yeah. Because he kind of went off the deep end. Crazy orders. He doesn't understand why. Like, Ituralda doesn't know why all that happened. Mm-hmm. But, you know, he gets some clarification at the end of this. So.
Yeah, he does get that at least.
Yeah. Yeah, and the plan is to maybe wait, maybe fight, maybe run. Like, he's not really sure, but it's probably just, like, hunkering down here, like you said. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is the best spot for it.
Yeah, because he does think that the Seanchan are going to end up sweeping through Eridomen.
Yeah, and Taraboners aren't coming back to help him anymore. Like, that's... Yeah. He's basically got his 40,000 soldiers, who are the remnants of what he had.
Yeah.
And now there's, like, a force of about 300,000 coming at him. So it's like, he can't. You're not going to win this.
No. All right. Now... This whole time, Ituralda's plan has been to retreat further and further into Eridomen, hoping to stretch the forces, but now he's discovered that there's somewhere around 100,000 Aiel running around Eridomen, and he's basically just trapped.
Yeah, and he doesn't really know who these Aiel are.
No, he doesn't
thinks
really
he's going to be pinned down.
Yeah.
So, and that was the entire point. It's like 300,000 coming at him, 200 Damani against Ituralda's 40,000 remaining. They aren't just using the Raken for scouts anymore. Like, that's the thing with the Seanchan, is they learn from their mistakes. So now they know Ituralda's real numbers and his real location. Yeah. So he basically has nothing left in the tank of what he can pull.
That's right.
So that's why it's important that they're retreating here to the steading, because at least this way he has an advantage against the Damani.
Yeah.
And maybe they can, like, take out more of the soldiers. Like, that's kind of what he's thinking is, like, endgame here, is he's pretty sure, he's not really saying it, but, like, he's not coming out of this one alive. But it's better to go up 40,000 against 300,000 without the magical
he's like, I'll die with
channelers.
honor. I had a really good life as a battle general, and
he's gonna do what he can before he dies. But that's the sad part.
Defending his homeland, like he's like, if I'm going out, this is how I'm doing it.
Yeah, and he's still trying to paint a little bit of hope and courage for his men, and that's why I love Ituralda so much. Like, he's one of my favorite guys.
He's certainly trying.
He's he keeps going to the end here.
Yeah.
And, like, hoping for maybe, like, a little bit of a, something coming out here.
Yeah. Yeah. And I kind of like this story he tells.
Yeah.
Alluding to your fun fact.
Right, yeah.
He talks seeing a master court bard.
Yeah, master juggler.
Master juggler.
Yeah.
In Camelin, who was juggling to make the daughter heir happy. In case you weren't sure who he was talking about, now you really know this is Tom.
Yes, yeah.
So he starts by juggling 3, then 4, then 5, then 6, and he makes it all the way up to 10 in a complex pattern, pretending to almost drop balls and then not.
Right.
Like that kind of thing. And then the crowd was calling for 11, and his assistant tosses him a final ball that is some illuminator's trick, bursts into light and smoke, and then when the smoke clears, the balls are all lined up on the floor, and Tom's over sitting at a table.
Drinking wine and flirting with one of the wives.
Right.
Yes. Very important detail there. So
it's like, just when you think all is lost, it's like, here's a trick and we get out of it.
Poof.
Is that like the point of the story?
Basically, yeah.
Because this is when Ituralda pulls out a letter from the king.
Yeah, we never actually saw this letter.
That gave him orders to attack the Seanchan.
Yeah, because we heard that he was basically waiting for the letter that was going to be the best serving for his purposes.
Well, because he had a whole bunch of different random weird orders.
Exactly. They're like, go here, go there,
and
go back over here.
And they were all coming from different people, and we're like, maybe this is from the king. Right?
Yeah. Like, so now this is the one that's like basically like attack the Seanchan and push him out, and then he was like, okay, I'm going to go with that one. That's the one I'm going to listen to. So for such a loyal guy, he also kind of does the
most self-serving.
Well, I mean, it's not disloyal per se, but it's also like he is literally ignoring all other orders from the king, in quotes.
Well, this one was more self-serving.
Yeah, like nation serving.
Yes.
It really doesn't serve him because he's going to die from it, but
well, now, yeah.
Now, but I mean, his whole thing is like that's
what he wanted. It's his prerogative. Like, this is what he wanted the most. Yeah, that's what I mean by that, right?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Whereas the other orders were kind of weird and wishy-washy, and he wasn't really sure who was sending them, so he wasn't necessarily acting on them because they were weird.
And it was like wrong information too. It's like, go here, but there wasn't actually anything to go to.
Right.
Yeah, so there's a lot of like misinformation there too. But anyways, we got the story, he gets the letter, and then the whole choice is to run or to fight. And that's where, again, we're coming down to the whole, like, he is basically making a last stand here in the steading, and we're going to do it. We're going to cut down the trees, even though it's, like, basically a crime to do that.
Oh, blasphemy.
Yeah, which makes sense, but, like, we're going to do it. We're going to cut down trees. We're going to build, like, fortifications, maybe, like, hold them down to some sort of siege here, and hopefully that 11th ball, the smoke and mirrors one, like, maybe we can pull something at the last minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. And then this is where things get exciting.
Yes.
Because a runner comes up with urgent news.
Yes.
Because there's somebody who has just shown up.
Yeah. Can I give you a quick recall on something that's really funny?
Sure.
So the Knife of Dreams prologue, when Ituralde is in the middle of his raids on the Shanshan, and on his ride back up towards Eridaman, he's trying to lure the Shanshan, right? And he's thinking like, oh, if the Shanshan see this trap, then I've got another plan, and then another plan, and another, and another, and another, and another. And then Ituralde thinks, I've got plans for every eventuality he can imagine, except for if the Dragon Reborn himself suddenly appears in front of him.
Aha!
Ah, he did it.
He did
it. He's got plans, but he doesn't have a plan for this.
Okay.
There you go.
There we go. Well, and in this chapter, he even thinks to himself, I don't even know if he really is reborn. I don't even know if I believe
I don't know
all
if I
of
believe
that.
it, but it's like, yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
Okay. So, turns out there's a man who's here to see Ituralde, and Ituralde's like, well, is it a Shanshan soldier?
Yeah, is it like a recruit? Like, is it just
is
like
this
some dude?
somebody
It's just
who
some
wants
dude.
to come join our army?
It happens. It's not completely unheard of.
Yeah, and he's like, I don't know. He's in nice clothes.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe some Lord's messenger.
Yeah, it's like, oh, okay. Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, all right. Sure.
Yeah, bring him here, but like keep him under guard. Like, yeah, sure. Okay.
Okay.
Got time for a meeting.
Right. Okay, so while the runner is gone to get Rand, they have a bit of a conversation here with whoever is here with Ituralde.
It's the same conversation, just like, what are we doing? He's like, well, we got to stay here. Like, this is our best chance.
Yeah, we're holding our ground.
Anyways.
So then their conversation gets cut off because the messenger is coming back with a squad of soldiers who are escorting a tall man with red hair who's wearing a red and gold coat, and Ituralde is distinctly drawn to the man's eyes.
Right. Yeah. Did you mention that he's tall?
He's tall.
And maybe he's like an Aiel?
He looks like an Aiel.
But he's not dressed like one?
No Aiel dresses like that, and he's got
man.
a sword at his side, and he's walking as if he knows how to use it.
Yeah, but wait.
Yeah.
He also doesn't have a hand.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, hey, look at that. And then, hey, look at that tattoos on his arm.
Yeah.
And if you didn't know, he also has an Andorran accent.
Oh, yeah, because the man starts by saying, Bashir's description of you was accurate. Are you boxing yourself in here? Or do you really expect to hold against the Shanshan army?
Right, yeah. And they're also like, well, I'm not going to talk to you about it. Like,
yeah, I don't
dude.
talk about my battle strategy with strangers.
Who are you?
Yeah.
But it's the eyes that tell Ituralde that Rand is a person who has seen a lot of death, and he's like, oh, not a young lord, because he's like, oh, maybe it's like a lord.
Young general.
It's a general, for sure, at least.
Yeah, and then he says, who are you? And Rand's like, I'm Rand. I am Rand al'Thor, the Dragon Reborn, and I need you. You and your army.
Yeah, and if you recall, the last time we saw Rand, we left on that cliffhanger where he was like, I will deal with Ituralde personally.
Well, yeah, Bashir wanted to fight him.
Right. Well, he was like, maybe.
Yeah,
maybe
no.
He's
like, I've always wanted to know if I could
be good on our side, but
him.
like, I kind of want to fight him.
Yeah. But now Ituralde starts thinking maybe this is possibly actually the Dragon Reborn based on the stories about him.
Yeah.
But he hasn't really been convinced that the Dragon Reborn is even reborn yet.
Yeah. And also the stories about Rand aren't really helpful because it's like, he's actually 10 feet tall and he has glowing eyes and all these other things.
The whole thing about him fighting in the sky and all of those things.
Yeah.
And Rand's like, you know what? I don't have time to argue. Let's go outside the steading and I'll show you I can channel and that'll prove that I'm the Dragon Reborn.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, sort of.
And if that doesn't help, he also has like 10,000 Aiel he can get here like in a second.
Yeah.
And also like a bunch of Aes Sedai who can swear to that. So like, what do you want? What do you want here?
Mm-hmm.
But also, I just got to say, like, one of the reasons I absolutely love this chapter is because Rand is such a madman where he just walks into a steading where he can't even channel by himself.
Yeah.
Probably didn't even tell anyone, honestly. Like, let's be real here. It's Rand.
Yeah.
And he just goes and is like, hey, come with me. I'm Rand. I need you.
Yep.
Like, absolute mad lad. I love it.
All right, so Ituralda's like, okay, even if all that were true, and I believe it, it still doesn't matter because I have a war to fight here. I have orders.
Yeah.
And Rand's like, okay, well,
how about
your
those orders?
war here with the Shanshan doesn't gain you anything, and I respect your loyalty, but, like, you're just gonna die.
Right. And also, it's kind of funny because in 1 second, he's like, hey, I respect the loyalty to your king's orders, but also, if you come with me, then I'll give you the throne of Erik Dolmen.
Right.
And then Ituralda's like, well...
I don't want that.
I don't want that. And you just said, hey, good job on the loyalty, but then you're, like, giving me Al-Salam's throne?
Yeah, and he's like, don't worry, Al-Salam's either dead or his mind has been melted to wax.
Right.
Melted like wax by Grandel.
Yeah. And I mean, it does help that Ituralda knows that Al-Salam has been acting kind of crazy lately, if it has been Al-Salam at all. Like, there's that whole thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, Rand is also super convinced it is Grendel who is in fact here. And like, we know that it is.
Yeah.
But like, just the way that Rand is like going about talking it through, it's kind of funny. It's kind of cool.
Well, Ituralda's like, well, Rand talks about the Forsaken as if he knows them.
Right.
And Rand's like, yeah, well, I do.
I do know them, yeah.
I'm the Dragon Reborn.
Yes.
I remember them better than I remember my own childhood.
I have memories of them. I know what they look like, what they sound like. I can name their birthdays, their favorite types of cake.
Yeah.
Favorite kind of birthday balloons. It's like, it's all birthday information.
So many things.
But I also love in Ituralda's mind, like the train of thought where he's like, this guy isn't him. Well, it could be him. Well, okay, it's definitely probably him, but I don't believe it. But actually, I do believe it. I believe him. Okay.
And at one point, too, he's like, I feel like I have to believe. I'm feeling a pull to believe this guy and listen to what he says.
The Taviran-ness, yeah. Rand needs him. We need him. We need a great captain. We need him.
Okay. Well, we already have Bashir. We have one.
We need a second, at least.
We need at least two.
Maybe at least two. We don't have Gareth Bryn actively.
No.
Matt is doing his own thing.
Well, Matt's not a great general yet.
Well, he's a pretty great general.
Oh, no, I know that.
But he's not a great captain.
He's not a great captain. Yeah. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So Ituralda's like, all right, fine. Let's see this proof of yours.
Right.
And then Rand gets a little off topic while they're walking and getting like out of the setting.
Yeah, like the soldiers are coming because we're not just going just the two of us.
Yeah, and we're going to ride horses or something to get out of here.
Yeah, I love this like rambling here. It's pretty funny.
No, this is Rand completely sane, by the way. Completely sane.
I know, but he's rambling.
I know that.
He's going off topic here.
I know. It's not sane. His rambling, muttering to himself isn't sane.
Well, it's kind of sane.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
You're saying it's
Read
insane?
the whole paragraph. It's like literally he's just like muttering back and forth, talking to himself.
Well, yeah.
That's crazy.
Well, you know.
I was being sarcastic.
Is it crazy if there's someone else on the other side of that conversation?
In your head? Yes, that's literally crazy. That's crazy.
Crazy isn't talking to yourself in your head. It's crazy is when the voice talks back.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
You got it.
Yeah. Anyways, it's still cool. Because then he's like, hey, maybe Al-Salam is still alive. Like, I get that. And I get that you don't want the throne then. But how about Amadicia? Because I need someone to roll there. Mm-hmm. And then you're all like, well, not if you kill the guy there.
Yeah.
And Rand's like, it's fine.
He's probably already dead.
It's fine. Like, it's good. Don't worry about it.
And also, I need you in the Borderlands.
Also, we need that. But like long term.
Fuck the Borderlanders. What the fuck are they doing?
Yeah. So like some of his mutterings are like actual just like him being like, oh man, this all sucks.
Yeah,
I gotta figure out what to do here.
Yeah.
But he is rambling.
You know what's gonna piss off Tenobia?
Oh.
This.
Oh, Ituralda?
Uh-huh.
Well, where's she at?
Yeah, not in Saldea.
Not doing what she's supposed to be doing.
That's right. Mm-hmm. And at least we have Bashir who's like, okay, I'll vouch for Saldea for now, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay, let's get back to the plot.
Right.
So...
Anyways, back to Ituralda's because he's like, well, okay, maybe I could do Amadicia, but then in his mind, he's like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Why am I saying yes to this? Like, this hypothetical, like, gonna be given the throne of Amadicia, and I'm walking to see if this guy can even channel to maybe prove that he's the Dragon Reborn?
Yeah.
Like, it is crazy, and it's so sweet.
Okay, and then Rand tells Ituralda that he's brought a lot of Aiel into his lands, and he's trying to restore order, but it's taking too long, and so... he's planning to secure the members of the Merchants' Council.
Yeah.
And Ituralda's like, that sounds a lot like kidnapping.
That's because it is kidnapping.
But I guess that'll work.
Right. Well, and I like the fact that Rand asked him, like, hey, what do you think of my plan?
What do you think of that plan?
And he's like,
probably the best option.
Probably, like, honestly. That's probably the only thing you can do. Like, okay.
Yeah. And then Rand is like, what would you do if I gave you 100 men who could channel?
Right. New topic. New
And
topic,
he's like,
please.
madmen?
Yeah.
And Rand's like, no.
So matter of
Most
fact.
are pretty stable.
Pretty good. They're
I
pretty
cleansed
good.
the taint, so at
Yeah.
least they won't get worse for now.
Yeah, like some of them, like, they got issues.
They
but,
gotta
like,
live.
yeah,
They're a little
okay.
crazy, but like,
Yeah.
they're fine.
How about that?
Yeah.
You want 100 of
They're
them?
not gonna get more crazy.
Yeah.
And Ideralda's like, okay. He's like the first guy who like outright just believes that Rand did this.
Yeah, well, what's he gonna do? Well, he's also thinking militarily, because the only connection he's got is the Damani, so he thinks, like 100 Damani of my own, that's really cool, because it's the only comparison he has is literally fighting the Shanshan, like, recently.
Yeah.
So I understand why he's not thinking, like, Aes Sedai of my own, because that's not even, like, a thing. That's not a very apt comparison.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
Yeah, because it's like, even what Damani and Ashaman can do in battle is so different than what Aes Sedai can do.
Yeah, I didn't even
just 'cause of
actually
the
make
three
that
O's.
comparison at all. Like, I didn't even think about that.
Oh, well,
So,
because he's like,
yeah.
he's thinking about, like, what about having my own channelers? So
Yeah, and he specifically says having my own Damani.
Damani, yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like,
But anyways,
that would be good.
He's like, yeah, I'd use them.
I could do that.
I
That
could
would
use
be...
them very well. And Rand's like, yes, good then, good.
Okay, excellent, yes.
Yeah. Okay, and then that's when Rand sort of goes on a ramble.
Yeah.
To himself.
Right. Well, he does, yeah. Rand rambles, and then Ideralda kind of comes back, because Rand's like, you have lots of land to cover, but here's gateways. This is a thing.
So.
Yeah.
So we can use them.
Yeah, we could do that. You could be like here, and then you could be over there.
Yeah.
Like right away. And then Ideralda's like, wow, amazing.
That's crazy.
That's even better. I could like
wild.
drive the Shanshan away, like back off to their own continent. We could get them out completely.
Yeah.
But anyways, there is a funny little tidbit there too when Rand is embracing the source.
Yeah.
And then Ideralda
where he
notices,
goes all woozy and looks sick.
Yeah, and he's like, whoa, what's happening? Like, this is a super
this
weird
guy
situation.
Poisoned?
Is he wounded?
Yeah.
But then he's like, okay. But it's like just Rand's having his own problems.
Yeah. Yep. That's true.
Anyways, I also gotta say, because again, like one of these little implications that I like to think about is Ideralda has just been given the idea that you could have 100 channelers to help your war effort. And he's like, with this, I could drive this massive force off of our country. Yeah. Like, we could do that. And you just gotta kind of take that and extrapolate it to the limits of like possibilities of fighting in the Age of Legends when we had channelers. Like, we had lots of them all over the place.
But there wasn't even, like, fighting then.
There wasn't, but then, like, it got rediscovered, basically. That's kind of the way the story goes. And it's literally like a good versus evil showdown. And just how quickly civilization collapsed from, like, the peak of Age of Legends into, like, nothing. Mm-hmm. And it's because of having technology and channeling. And it's just kind of funny to put that into a comparison.
Yeah. No, I like that.
Yeah.
All right, but then Rand tells Ideralda, no, we're not battling the Shanshan. We're making peace with them. That's more important right now than fighting them and driving them off. And Ideralda's like, nothing's more important than my homeland.
Yeah, but what about if the world ends?
Yeah.
That includes your homeland, man.
Yeah, and you hunker down here in the steading.
Yeah.
Your homeland's going to shit anyway, and you're dead.
You don't have options.
So, yeah.
But also, I mean, this does make, like, he gets the fact that maybe the orders from El Salam are forged. He's like, yeah, maybe that's true. But also, I know the spirit of the orders of what, like, El Salam, who he used to be. And I agree with that. So, like, I want to do this. I want to do this thing.
I won't stand for foreign troops in Eredomin.
Right.
And then Rand's like, okay, fine. We'll see the Shanshan out of Eredomin somehow.
Yeah.
And in exchange, you're going to go to the borderlands and protect against invasions and hold back Trollocs.
Yeah,
and help us out because those damn Borderlanders aren't where they're supposed to be or doing what they're supposed to do.
Right. Okay. And now Ideralda's like, yeah, gateway out of here. I can save my men. My country gets saved.
You know, we didn't talk about, so what Rand embraced the source, he channeled, and then he made a gateway.
Oh, yeah, he did it. Yeah.
He made one.
Yeah. He's like, this is the thing. He did. He actually did a very good explanation of like what this means.
Yes.
And he's like, you go here, and then you're there.
Yeah.
And Ideralda's like, wow.
Yeah. I'm going to Italy for lunch.
I can get out of this death trap.
Yeah. Basically, that's what it is. Well, he's like, breakfast in Camelin and lunch in Tanchico.
Exactly.
That's what he said.
I love it. But mostly also just it means not dying here with all of my men. And I can like save the world. I can save my country. I can not die here.
Lots
it's
of
pretty good. It's a pretty good deal.
Yeah, he's got a real chance of keeping Eredomin secure. And he'll have the Aiel and the Dragon Reborn on his side.
Yeah, it's a good deal. Take it.
Yeah, so he says agreed. They shake hands.
Yep.
And Bran tells him that he'll be in Saldea by tonight.
Excellent. For their sandwiches. Dinner in Saldea.
Yeah, love that.
Yeah. Anyways, I love it, right?
Yeah.
Good things go well for people I like. This is good. This was a good meeting. Yeah. It's good.
Yeah.
Also, we didn't talk about it, but also Rand wants some of like his local guys to help him secure Eridoman because
when
it's like
you say his, you mean
Ituralda's. Yeah, some of like the local lord guys to help like make the transition smoother.
Right.
Is the whole people do better when it's like your own leaders are in power?
That is what Ruark said.
Yeah.
That's Ruark's
He wanted Bashir as just like wetlanders, but Domani lords would be better than even Bashir's guys.
Yeah.
So.
Yes. Okay. Good.
There we go.
Fun.
Okay. Great. I love it.
Dynamic duo.
It makes me happy. I love them.
Yeah, I want to see Ituralda and Bashir like hanging out.
Yeah.
That'll be funny.
Yeah.
That'll be good. We should probably take care of the whole situation happening at the Black Tower, though.
Yeah, maybe.
Sounds negative.
Yeah. Well, there's really only just like an inner circle that's causing problems right now.
Dark and evil-y.
Like an inner circle of dark and evil. But that's like, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sounds bad.
Yeah.
Let's take care of that, probably.
Okay. All right.
We should probably deal with that.
How do you take care of that?
Also, we should probably take care of Grendel.
Yeah.
We should probably take care of lots of things.
How do we take care of them?
We should probably kill Semirog.
Okay, yeah.
So she's in captivity currently.
So kill her.
Yeah. There's actually been a lot of discussion in our Discord about how putting the Adam on her wouldn't necessarily be torture if they didn't like use it to hurt her. Because like what they're doing right now, keeping a shield on her always, it's like literally the exact same thing.
Okay. I mean, I would make the argument of like thinking about things as weapons. Like you can't do that with the Adam on. Like if you actively think about hurting people.
Yeah.
Right? You can't do that.
No. You mean like the Aes Sedai couldn't do that?
No, like Semirog. You put the Adam on Semirog and Semirog's not allowed to think about like violence and all that stuff.
Oh, well that's good.
Well, yeah, but like it would be torture.
Yeah.
It would actively hurt her.
Well, maybe she should stop thinking evil things.
Yep, I agree.
Okay.
I'm not against it. I'm not saying I'm against it. But I'm on the side of like let's just kill her.
Yeah, I'm actually on Nynaeve's side that she should have just been stilled.
Sure, that too.
Yeah.
Do both.
And just kill her.
Do both.
All of it.
Yeah.
Honestly, at this point.
Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, the fact
any of them at this point. I'll take any.
Yeah.
Is any an option?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You know, we went through this entire Perrin chapter.
Right.
And we didn't even get one single mention of Morgaze and Baeldamen and Talonvor.
Yeah.
Like, we got the recap on Alejandra and her guy.
That's only because they're the ones who are actively annoying Perrin.
I know, but you don't think that, like, Talonvor is going to be actively annoying Perrin about getting Morgaze out of here? He's on the same level.
If anything, Talonvor would just be like, we're just going to leave. He's not going to ask permission to go.
Oh.
If anything, he's just going to be like, we're leaving. Remember when he just left the last time?
Oh, yeah.
Like...
Well, I would like some mention of it, you know?
Yeah, no, I get that. I understand that.
Yeah.
Okay, so plan for next one. So we are only doing one chapter. It is a bit short.
I know.
But we also have to record in like a day, so it's just like...
our schedule got a little bit away from us, but that's okay.
Yeah. And then the next one is like a longer chapter, so we're doing the next two chapters separate.
Okay. 11 separate, then 12 separate.
Right.
And then we'll go on.
We'll throw some doubles in there after.
Okay.
So, okay.
Okay. Sounds good. Well, now, before you go ahead and break a world juggling record, I'm going to say that this is part of the pattern now.
Yeah, it's part of the pattern.
Well, that's the end of another fun episode. Thanks so much for listening, everyone. The Wheel Weaves is hosted and edited by Dani and Brett and produced by Dani and Brett with Passion Socks, Cody Feltz, Benjamin, Jamie Young, Megan, Jared Berg, Ricky Morissette, Adam, Mozyme, Marta Thier, Michelle Forbes, MKM, Antoine Benoit, Lawrence Bradley, Colby T, and Gabby Young with music by Audionautics. Be sure to check out our Patreon page if you're interested in supporting us on the podcast. We'd love to send you some Patreon exclusive merchandise as a thank you. Plus, you'll gain access to our episodes earlier than everyone else. And at the time of recording, we have over 45 bonus episodes for your listening pleasure. Find all that and more at patreon.com/thewheelweavespodcast. For general information about our show and information like how to send us shot glasses, how to join the Discord, or how to get in touch with us, visit thewheelweavespodcast.com. And as always, please be sure to give us a 5-star review because it really does make a really huge difference in helping other people find us. And tell a friend, Riyadh, because referrals really are the best compliment. Thanks so much for listening. This really is part of the pattern now.